Now we can give our attention to our second student, which is Sister George with the household of Sister Ebony Jack. The source material is taken from Reading in the Scriptures, page 371, paragraph 2, to page 372, paragraph 3. The theme, why a perfect man could sin. And her setting, she's witnessing at a bus stop.
Hi, my name is Shauna, and I wanted to share with you this track that is speaking about, well, when will suffering end? And I also wanted to read a scripture to you at Revelation 21, 3 and 4.
No. Let me stop you right there. I go to church, but I could never understand how God could create a perfect human being and that perfect man would sin.
Well, that is a very good question that you're asking. How can God create a perfect human being and then that perfect man sin? If you don't mind, I would like to discuss that with you with the Bible, using the Bible. Here at Genesis 3, 1 through 6, it talks about what had happened at that time, okay? And it reads, "Now the serpent was the most cautious of all the wild animals of the field that Jehovah God had made. So it said to the woman, 'Did God really say that you must not eat from every tree of the garden?' At this the woman said to the serpent, 'We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but God has said about the fruit of the tree that is in the middle of the garden, you must not eat from it. No, you must not touch it, otherwise you will die.' At this the serpent said to the woman, 'You certainly will not die, for God knows that in the very day you eat from it, your eyes will be opened and you will be like God.' Consequently, the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was something desirable to the eyes. Yes, it was pleasing to look at. So she began taking of its fruit and eating it. Afterwards, she also gave some to her husband when he was with her, and he began eating it." So we see that Eve, she was deceived by Satan, the devil. She knew that God's law not to eat from the fruit. And then she encouraged her husband, and he followed along with her, Adam. So they both knew right and wrong. But God he created perfect human beings, but he didn't create robots. So they had the ability of free will to choose right and wrong. Just like we humans today, we have the freedom to choose right and wrong. We have free will. And I wanted to read that to you at Deuteronomy 30, 19 and 20. Actually, you can read that.
I take the heavens and the earth as witnesses against you today that I have put life and death before you, the blessing and the curse, and you must choose life so that you may live, and you and your descendants, by loving Jehovah your God, by listening to his voice, and by sticking to him, for he is your life, and by him you will endure a long time in the land that Jehovah swore to give to your forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob."
So we see that God had gave them a choice that if they chose to obey him, they would have lived forever. They would have remained perfect, and so would have their offspring. But let me ask you this question. Do you have children?
No, I don't have any children.
Okay, well, neither do I. But if you had children, would you want them to obey you, listen to you because they love you and they want to, or because they were forced to and need to?
Well, of course, it would make me feel good knowing that my children would obey me because they love me.
Well, I'm glad you said that because that is exactly how God feels. Here at 1 John 5:3, it brings it out. And it says, "For this is what the love of God means, that we observe his commandments, and yet his commandments are not burdensome." So I hope that I was able to answer your question.
Oh, yes. I see you did. Although Adam and Eve were created perfect, they had a free choice that they could not unselfishly show their love by God for obeying them.
That's good. I'm glad that you understand it perfectly. I also wanted to let you know that even though Adam and Eve, they put us in this bad state, that God has made a way out for us. And that's why I was trying to share with you, will the suffering ever end track. And now can I read the scripture that I wanted to read to you earlier that shows what God will do for us?
Sure.